Michael, are we still trusting the process?
Well, okay. Well, I said last week, didn't I? Like trust the process, but wow, not Sunday. Sorry, Saturday was really something else. It wasn't the fact that Seoul didn't play well, and I'm not disrespecting John. I'm in the slides here. I'm not trying to like put slide digs up, but John were really, really poor. They were the shell of a team that I've seen in former seasons. Seoul had complete control of the first half, but they just couldn't score. Like there was chances where Honan had one-on-one chances, Idong Rule had one-on-one chances. Like a lot of the team were literally one-on-one with the goalkeeper because John just looked out of place defensively, and it was just constant barragement of Seoul E-Land attack after Seoul E-Land attack. Now, for me, that worries me a bit because there still hasn't been a striker who scored for Seoul E-Land. All three goals have come from midfielders. Bruno with two and Sabitzer with one goal himself. Now, I'm not just saying this because the game's now finished, but I've been watching Seoul for so long now that when I was watching that game in the first half and it was 0-0, I said to myself, right, John, we're going to win this game 1-0 in the dying minutes or within the last 10 minutes. And as you see, last 10 minutes of the game, they went and they scored, and Seoul E-Land still out of 3 games now have failed to win. Now, to be honest, it's just a bit sad, really, as a Seoul E-Land fan myself. And, we're on podcast, we try and remain a bit impartial. New manager, new team, new hope, but the exact same thing happens every single year. Do you know what I mean? You could have 4, 5, 6 managers at the club. You can have hundreds of players coming to Seoul E-Land, and they either start really well or whimper, and then they just whimper, and that's it for the season. Now, I know I say trust the process, but that was really, really hard to watch on Saturday for the fact that it looks as if we don't really have anyone to change the game for us up front. And I don't know how long the Seoul Leon fans are going to trust this process or even trust the team itself, because slightly going off topic, I made a tweet on Sunday. The attendance for the FC Seoul Ulsan game was 20,500 odd. Saturday's game with Seoul Leon Jeonnam was 1,500 or 1,400 people. Saturday was 21 degrees in Seoul. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. Sunday in the Seoul World Cup Stadium was freezing. I know which one I would rather have been to as a neutral, but it says a lot about attendances as well of Seoul E-Land and Seoul E-Land as an outfit.
What was the reaction like from the fans at full time? Was it boos? Was it sort of support for the players? Was it negative?
Right, so it was a bit of an odd one, really, because Jeonnam actually scored again. They scored a second goal to make it 2-0 in the dying minutes, but it got disallowed. VAR came into play and it got disallowed. But when that second goal went in, you generally saw a couple of fans starting to show a real frustration. Like, I mean, we can't repeat some words that was said, but it
No.
was. I was watching from afar, and I'm thinking we're 3 games in here now. Some of the fans are not taking it lightly that we're losing 2-0 here in Mokdong. We failed to win a game so far this season. It's something where Solian fans are so desperate just to have one great season, or just to get something, just play one playoff game, or just get really far in the FA Cup. And it looks like we're already dead in the water 3 games in. Now, don't get me wrong, it's the K League, and with Solian, they can go 4 or 5 games in advance now, winning stuff. But at the minute, they can't see a striker. They can't see a team that are lethal up front. And for them now, Seoul don't play in the league until the 2nd of April when they go to Busan. I don't fancy them against Busan at the minute. They have Bucheon in the FA Cup on the 29th of March. You've got to hope that they turn up for that game, because the fans, they need something. They really need something. It's been just, bar that Bruno free kick last week against Anyang, there's been nothing to cheer about.